Hey guys, Dennis752 here, and today I'm bringing you another build that I've been making, and this build is going to be Sweep. So as you can see, it has quite a bit of AoE, it's really fast, it clears everything basically. So this is a tier 16 map, and it's clearing everything quite nicely. You'll see the ritual right here. It just basically you stand in one place and you mop everything up. This is basically the max AoE that you can get. I think you can get a little bit more if you max your Pulverize. But yeah, as you can see, it pretty much covers the whole screen. But I'm just gonna say a little bit how the build works. So basically, what I'm doing here, I'm playing a Slayer, and I'm using the one Ascendancy node that's been quite a bit overlooked, I would say, and it's called Masterful Form. So this node, what it does, it makes your endurance charges equal to your maximum frenzy charges. So what does this mean? This means that as you increase your maximum frenzy charges, so will your maximum endurance charges increase. And good thing about this is that we're playing Sweep. Sweep has a unique enchant that states 30% of your hits are going to generate endurance charges. So that means we're basically going to be generating endurance charges every time we're hitting something. Not only that, but I'm also using Enduring Cry, which also generates endurance charges. So basically, as you can see, there's endurance charges on me all of the time. But as you can see, the endurance charges are a little bit shiny. And the reason because of this is that they are not actually endurance charges. These are brutal charges. And we're using the special unique belt. I think it's called Ans something. And this belt is what basically converts these endurance charges into brutal charges. And nice thing about brutal charges is they make us stun immune basically, since we're gonna have like 9 of them. Each of these endurance brutal charges gives 10% stun threshold, which means we basically have 90% more life. I mean, as it's considered for the stuns at least. I mean, we don't have more life, but it's considered like this for the stuns. So you're basically not gonna get stunned at any point in time, and you don't need any form of stun immunity on your tree. You don't need Masterful Form and stuff like that. The other thing about brutal charges is that they give you basically 3% chance to deal triple damage. So triple damage is quite a bit. The only thing that we're basically losing is the endurance charge modifiers, but this is just physical damage reduction and elemental resistances, but it doesn't really matter for this build, since this build has a lot of room for resistances, and yeah, physical damage reduction is I guess lost, but that's not that important either, because this build actually has 74% chance to dodge attacks, something like 60% chance to evade attacks, and something like 40% chance to dodge spells. So most of the stuff that's going to be, well, hitting you is not even going to be hitting you at all. So it's very evasive, this build. It has a lot of life. So here I have 5,500 life, but in the meantime I've already leveled a couple of more levels, and I have something like 5,800 life. So I think it can reach up to something like 6k life, and that's basically going to be the cap. So it has a lot of life, it has Fortify, it has a lot of dodge, attack dodge, spell dodge, even evasion. So it's very survivable, and it deals insane amounts of damage. And this is mostly because, well, you have 9 frenzy charges, 9 brutal charges, and 3 power charges. But you're probably wondering how I'm generating the frenzy charges and the power charges. Well, this is because I'm using the, well, really popular Farrell's Fur chest piece, which basically maxes out my frenzy charges and power charges constantly. The maximum of power charges is gonna be 3, because we don't have any increases to power charges. But yeah, since we're maxing frenzy charges, we're gonna have +1 frenzy on the gloves, +1 on the boots, Dark Ray vectors, and of course everything else is going to be on your tree. And Masterful Form also gives you +1. This equals 9 frenzy charges, and because we have Masterful Form, this equals to 9 brutal charges as well, and because of the belt, of course. And it's really amazing. I think the damage with this, so I'm using a Starforge, and I recommend that you just use a Starforge, just because it's going to give you that juicy AoE. Sweep loves AoE, as much AoE as you can get, and of course 100 life. This is the biggest reason I'm using Starforge. Um, and it of course has amazing damage. Not only this, but sweep actually deals quite a bit of damage per swing, and because of that you're going to be shocking a lot as well. So since Starforge gives you shock on physical damage, you're going to be shocking as well. You're going to see the boss here in a couple of seconds, and you'll see that the bosses, even in tier 16, awakening level 8, map bosses just like melt. And this is not even min-maxed. This is with gems only at level 19, I think. So they're not even qualityed. But once you get your gems to like 2020, you min-max your 3. I'm missing like 3 nodes that are giving me damage basically. So this is not even its final form. After that, I think the late game damage that you can basically min-max on this build is something like 12 million DPS. And of course I'm using Pulverize for mapping, so this is even a bit less DPS than you can have on something like Shaper or Elder and stuff like that. On Shaper, Elder, and you know, these endgame bosses, you would probably switch your Pulverize to something like Brutality, and then you would get to this maximum, which is something like 12 million DPS. And you're going to have it constantly. It's not going to be something like with the rage mechanic. You don't need to like get your rage up and running. The only thing you need to do is hit everything around you, and you're going to be getting your frenzy charges, brutal charges, and that's that. Well, basically you have your frenzy and power all of the time, but to get the brutal charges you just need to hit something or shout, and you're gonna get them. So yeah, also really good thing is that basically you have a 5-link Ancestral War Chief and a 5-link Ancestral Protector, and you can use Panopticon, even get even more damage from your totems, and the totems themselves are going to be doing something like 4 million each. And yeah, the build just decimates, like absolutely decimates endgame bosses. So yeah, and right here you can just basically see how much damage you can do even with just Pulverize and stuff like that. But yeah, really good. And so the boss just got deleted. I was just a little bit cautious because I don't have much chaos resistance. I basically have no chaos resistance at all. It's minus 60. So I'm just trying to be cautious about that chaos damage, around that chaos damage. But yeah, that's basically that. I'm probably gonna make the build guide the next week, as I usually do. So next Monday, I'm just gonna... and you saw just right here that the boss respawned and it died in like 3 hits. But yeah, I'm gonna show the build basically the next week, and I'm gonna explain precisely how everything works, but this is more or less how it works, and you basically saw how it works in maps. But yeah, that's that, and I'll leave you with some of the gameplay, and I'll see you around, guys. Bye bye.
Spirit is spent. I can't do this just yet.